bounce back, bounce back, bounce back, bounce back. Let me see you do it. Bounce back, bounce back. One more time, bounce back, bounce back. Hey man, it's a bounce back game. Just straight up. If you watched the first game, man, we lost that one. So we get into the second game, it says that their best stat is 31 offensive rebounds. Now I'm telling my team, there's no way this team grabbed 31 offensive rebounds and they lost.
Man, I keep guarding these.
Gordon averages 18.7 assists, which is really good. Really good, really solid point guard. And for the most part, since teams are still adjusting from last year, that's kind of what I'm going to see starting out. But the more games these teams play, it's going to really tell you, like, you know, who's doing the scoring, who's doing the assisting, who's actually doing the heavy lifting. Because for so long, it's been, I ain't gonna lie, it's been me doing the heavy lifting when it comes to scoring. And the thing about that is, although the system is designed around me, I'm not really a scorer. With this particular build, like I said, I made these type of builds to cover up everything mainly defensively. I always was going to be able to pass the ball no matter what type of build I made, but I did not expect to be the scorer of this particular system. The system is not designed for me. The system is designed for people who can shoot. That's what it's designed for. All right, essentially, instead of me playing center, I just took my passing ability and I played point guard. There's literally not really much difference between me and a center. All right, I'm somebody who has made a build that takes upon multiple things that
that's a steal.
We're talking a meta team will have specific positions for. For example, a meta team will have a point guard, a lock, a corner or a hash, another lock that would be a corner, and then a big, right? Because that's what they call it. They don't call them by position no more. So let's put it like this. So the point guard would be the point guard, right? He's typically team's best scorer, team's best playmaker combined. That's what most point guards that you run across. You know, everybody wants to be Steph Curry. At the two, you either will have one or two things. You either will have a lock, which is somebody who's going to guard the other team's primary point guard and also be able to knock down threes. Or you're going to have another guard that's similar to the point guard, where that guy can score and shoot just as well as the point guard can, but his pass accuracy wouldn't be as high, and his shooting might be a little bit better.
Cut backdoor montage.
Especially like free throws and different things. Like, he typically would be a little bit better shooter, a little bit better defender. All right, the point guard mainly wouldn't have no defense. They just sit in the corner. All right, at small forward, you either have a corner build, which is somebody who can switch defensively but also knock down corner threes. At the four, you would either have a stretch four or it would be a two-way stretch, something like that. Somebody that can switch in and out with the center if need be. And then you would have the center who mainly out there to rebound and protect the rim, play the pick and roll. For my team, I do most of those things. So I'm the primary lock, all right? And here's the thing. I don't know who my teammates will say is the best defender, but I pride myself on that side of the ball. I always gonna feel like I'm the best defender. in my eyes, no matter who we go up against, I'm always the best player on the floor. All right, I might not score the same way as some of these other players, but
we got force 24 seconds on defense.
For the things I'm able to do, I'm pretty much the primary lockdown. I'm the primary on the pick and roll.
Good defense.
I'm the primary to switch down to the big just in case our big can't do it. You know, so I'm
perfect.
I'm the primary perimeter defender and I'm the rim protector. I'm also the rebounder.
Oh, I can't wait till you get some type of dunk animation.
And I'm the guy that finishes around the rim, and I'm the playmaker. So I do all those things with just one build. That's why I feel like I'm the best player. And truth be told, I'm gonna always be the best player on the court, even if it don't show up on the stat sheet that particular game. So when you have a player like me who does all those things, I kind of took the ability away from my teammates to kind of be unique, which I kind of stated in the last video, but instead of these guys creating more specialists, I tried my hardest to make them play like me, which was not smart on my
get that board.
And that's what pretty much has killed us over the years. I kept expecting everybody, as long as I told them the right things to do, I expected everybody to naturally become better players and be just as good as me. One thing I can admit, they have become better players, but that does not mean they're just as good as me. And I know why. One of the main reasons is a lot of these guys probably only play this particular mode, like my career. You have to get out there and play other modes. Like, go play now online. You know, if you into it, go try a little bit of my team. But just try some of these different modes.
Go back out.
If somebody has a season or franchise, go play in it. Because seeing how 2K works will help you as an individual player. So this particular game we played, I was very proud of myself because I took the criticism that my co-captain RDH Hall gave me from the first game. What he told me pretty much the first game was, yeah, Lethal, you didn't necessarily play bad. You did your thing going to the rim. But this game is more team-oriented. So although you could score, we probably could have had a little bit more success if you called out a few more cuts as opposed to always just trying to go down there and score. So for me, I looked at the game, I watched the game back. I didn't see nothing different from what my co-captain was saying. What I was telling him was the reason why we lost that game is because in the third quarter, we got killed on the offensive glass. So even if you go back and watch the game, and when I went back and watched it, that's still all I thought. But I still took the criticism at which he said, and I started applying it more and more. So in this particular game, instead of me trying to attack one-on-one so
famous,
much,
I want you to swing up, and I'm going to take your corner.
Said, you know what?
Like, I'm leaving that open to bait it so you can swing up for the steal.
So instead of me trying to go down there and score all the time,
I'll take it, Reggie. No, it ain't.
Let me just see if I can maneuver in a way that allows my teammates to kind of get going by backdoor cuts.
Damn, you strong.
Giving them an opportunity to catch and make a decision as a playmaker. So pretty much they get the ball and then they're able to swing it to a wide open 3-point shooter or whatever it may have. Like, that's what I focused on because that's what he said to me.
I was talking about
and that's the beautiful thing about having multiple people
grab the ball
give their
from
input
dude like that.
And I always look forward to my teammates just being real with me. Even though I might disagree with you on something.
Clear, set, reset.
I mean, I am your team captain.
Go through my
I'm here to listen to you. All right, so if you're telling me something is open or you like scoring from this particular thing, that's always an adjustment I can add into the game plan. Now, what I will do, when you give me a suggestion, I will tell you, okay, that makes sense, we can try it, or I will tell you, hey, that's not going to work, and here's why. I'm never just going to say, no, it's my way or the highway, you know, take it or leave it type of thing. I'm going to listen to what you have to say.
You one-on-one.
If it's something that sounds legit and it makes sense, cool. But if you tell me something, I just know, and I got to think, I'm speaking from years of experience playing 2K. I have now at this point 23 years experience playing 2K. So if I'm telling you something ain't gonna work the way you thinking, you gotta do one or two things. Just accept that I'm right or prove me wrong.
Why'd you go behind them?
And trust me, it's way easier to accept me being right than to prove me wrong. But if you prove me wrong,
that's on me. I should have told you which way.
You ain't do nothing but make me better.
Good
and I can't fault you for that. So from now on, I want to try to get better at that. I'm calling more backdoor cuts. I'm trying to utilize my teammates' skill set. Right, because with this particular lineup, and it's the first time this has ever really happened, we had 3 scorers on the floor. Me and RDH Hawk are not scorers. Contrary to popular belief, although I'm the captain, he's the co-captain, in most games I will have like the better stats and everything. I'm not built to score, and RDH Hawk doesn't necessarily build his build to score. Right, scoring is a player that can do it from all 3 levels, which is getting to the rim, mid-range, and 3-point shooting. Because me and him focus more on the defensive side of the ball, technically we're not scorers. We're capable of putting points up, and everybody has to. I don't care if I made a center, I still would have to give you some type of offensive production, but it doesn't make me a scorer. Right, that's what scorers do. They can get the ball, create something out of nothing, and like I said, score from all 3 levels. We actually have 3 guys right now, which I can't really think of a team other than the team I played with in, I want to say it was 2K17. In 2K17, that's the only other team I've ever played with that had 3 scorers on the floor at the same time. And the beauty about having scorers on the floor is,
good move,
you don't have to run a lot of stuff to get them going offensively. You can kind of just give them the ball and let them go to work. So the 3 scorers we have is Famous, Montage, and King Capalot. All 3 of those guys are scorers. Those are all 3 guys that I feel are capable of scoring 20 points.
That's on me. Go through, King.
And to be honest with y'all, it shouldn't technically work.
You one-on-one now.
Because all 3 of those guys need the ball. But
cut back down the middle if you want to.
Again, listen to teammate suggestions. Whenever we play this small ball lineup like we're running right now, because we don't have any bigs on the floor, I pretty much will occupy the center position. And since I'm thinking more like a center instead of the point guard, I freely can give those guys the ball and let them go do whatever they're going to do. I don't even have to think about it. Now, best believe if we had a big man on the floor, I would think more like a point guard where I need to go attack and score. You know, I always have to play down here and score. That's pretty much what happened the first game. Now, both ways work. All right, when it comes to the scoreboard, no matter how I play, both ways work. It's just what I noticed defensively, although we were a better team defensively having Cincy on the floor, the offensive capability was so much better with this particular file. Again, because you had 3 people that's all capable of putting up 20 points.
Yeah, giving him favorable animation.
And if they play like they're all capable of putting up 20 points, I mean, that's kind of tough to beat. You know, that means one of them might have 30, the next one might have 15, and the other one may have 5. But it's okay if that person have 5 because that just means the defense, you know, let the other guy score. And then what would happen is in the next game, the defense might let one of the other scorers get off. But no matter what, one of those guys is going to put up 20 points, at least. At least. More than likely, to be honest with you, with that much scoring on the floor, 2 out of 5 should be able to put up 20. I never include me up in that. If I give you 20, that's great. But, you know, I should always have more assists, more rebounds, you know, more hustle plays, because that's what my player is designed to do. So we actually played a really good brand of basketball. As you can see, the score just kind of got away from these guys. The game was close, first quarter, a little bit of the second. You know, towards the second half of the game, we really locked in on what we were trying to do defensively, and it showed. We was able to create turnovers, get out on the break, knock down open shots.
The defense.
So I'm very proud of my team. Great bounce back win. And it's our first win this year in NBA 2K23.
I got you. Hey, man.
You know, a big dub.
Refs say we're playing hard out there.
And there's not really much you can learn after a game like this because, I mean, the group that we run rec a lot. And most of the time, majority of the time, I say about a good 95% of the time, this is what the games look like. You know, we get in there, the first quarter they be bullshitting or whatever, the game be way close too close from our comfort. And then by the second half, we just go ahead and blow the other team
Call the foul, ref.
So the
I knew he was going to get an animation. I just thought it was going to be
very hard just due to the fact that teams are a lot smarter. They don't give up as many threes. They value their possessions. You got to preach that to your team. Just don't give up threes, value the possessions, and you'll have a fair chance of winning the game.
Famous.
This team obviously didn't take care of the ball very well. They turned it over. They gave up a lot of threes, a lot of fast break points, and the game just kind of got away from them from there. But what you do notice for me, I am still putting up a double-double some way, somehow. This particular game came close to a triple-double, which so the game times I've been playing rec, I'm pretty sure I'm averaging close to a triple-double. Right? I have had like a lot of triple-doubles since we played rec. And it's just like, it's a part of my DNA at this point.
I couldn't get there.
Not that I'm actually going for the triple-double. I'm not really doing it for stats purposes, but it is great when you do actually put it up there or have the stats very close to a triple-double.
You just never saw
it just, you know, for nothing else, it does show the effort that you're bringing to the game. It's hard to get a triple-double, especially if you're not a center. Like centers, they can get it just by getting, 5 pick and rolls. They'll get the rebounds, obviously, but then when they just launch that bitch down court and people knocking down the shot, like, they're the only ones that I really would think could consistently put up a triple-double. So for me to do it at point guard, it's pretty special. So now that I kind of seen this lineup play, I did want to see us play against a pretty good team, which we end up doing. That's going to be the next game I give to you guys. But the thing about it is, when you play against a good team or a team with a good record and you actually got to like sit up and play and be focused, if you get blown out in that game, it's frustrating because it almost makes you feel like you got to make a new character and it's back to the drawing board. But honestly, try to play the game out, watch the film back, and just ask yourself, did your team give the best effort? And if you feel like they gave you the best effort they can give you, then you just know what type of team you got that year. You know, if you don't like what you saw, you can either
Good shot.
Try to find better teammates, or like I said, try to make a new build that's gonna correct whatever you saw was failing.
I'm just saying, Reggie, I'm used to you being this defensive animal.
But you're not gonna play the same team every single time. Do not base one bad loss, have one bad loss and just feel like, my team sucked, they're done, they can't compete with none of those top teams.
I got it
ever.
on Hall of Fame. That's why I be
It's a
letting them
learning
go.
process. You have to work together to get there.
Good pass.
Nonetheless, I mean,
good shot.
Hey man, this was a great bounce back win. Proud of my boys, man. Like,
that don't never happen.
What it did show me that game that we played, the next game that you guys will see is
I couldn't drop back.
As long as we can keep it a tight ball
game. I saw it. I could. That was in quicksand.
That shows you that your team can compete with any team, and what that showed me is, no matter who we play against from this point out, if they don't give me the same effort that they gave me in that particular game, then they're holding out on me. At that point, I know we have the talent to compete, and they're just not focused or thinking elsewhere. They're doing something instead of giving their attention to their teammates. When you all going to play 2K and you're playing as a team, you're sacrificing time to be with those guys. All right, so the least they can do is sacrifice that same time to you as a teammate so y'all can do the thing that you're trying to do, which is win ball games. I'm not saying outside things aren't more important. Of course, your family, kids, wife, whatever, is way more important than this game will ever be. But at the same time, you did spend your money on it. And if you got 4 other guys that's making time to give their attention to you, the least you can do is give them a common courtesy of doing the same thing and just giving them time and attention so that y'all can try to be victorious in this 2K video game. But this was amazing.
Ran right into me.
Great bounce back win. I couldn't be more happier. The guys are listening to what's been put out there, and I'm trying to tell you, I have not seen guys do the things I'm saying for years for them to finally kind of get it. They're helping in the right spots. You only got to tell somebody something once, and then they make the adjustment the very next time. Nobody's really getting too big or too down off of anything. Like, we're able to talk and be civilized. It's a beautiful thing. All right, I want to win. I actually feel like my player is good enough to compete in the league and win league MVP. That's how good I believe I am. I believe I am the best player in the world. So that's like one of the things I would love to put on my resume. I have made an all-star squad, which is, I ain't gonna lie, it's great, but I want to be in the conversation of some of the best players that's scoring. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed our second game. We're now 1-1. I will have a new game out to y'all soon, but I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.